Hello, my name is Siobhan Green. It is week 5, April 8th, 2018, and I'm going to be going over the axial and appendicular skeleton. The first one is the anterior skull. Most of these are located in the inside of the eye socket, so you won't be able to really tell, but I'll describe them as best as possible. The first is the nasal, which is right here on the nose. The sphenoid is the middle of the eye socket, right in there. The lacrimal is on the inside of your nose inner eye, which is located like right in this area. The ethmoid is also on the inner side of the eye, right in this area. The zygomatic is the cheekbone, right here. Maxilla is located on like the upper lip area. The mandible is the jawbone. It's located right here. The frontal is the forehead area. And the vomer is what separates the left and right nostril. The posterior skull is my next one. The mandible is the back of the jawbone, which would be right here. The parietal, which is the top of the head right back here. The occipital is the lower part of the head, which would be located like right in this area. And the temporal would be about next to the ear, so right in this area. From the lateral view, which is also known as the side view, the ethmoid again is the inner eye. The frontal again is the forehead. The lacrimal again is within the inner eye, right inside the nose also. The mandible is the jawbone. Maxilla would be located on the upper lip area. The nasal again would be the nose. The occipital again, it would be the lower part of the head right back here. The parietal is the top back of the head in this area right here. And the temporal would again be located behind the ear type. And the zygomatic again is the cheekbone. I will now be showing you the vertebral column and the thoracic cage. So the first thing on the vertebral would be the atlas, which is right here. The axis is right under. The cervical vertebrae is the top half. The thoracic vertebrae is the midsection, right in here. The lumbar vertebrae would be the lower, just right in here. The sacrum is this area right here. And the coccyx would be the tailbone, which is right here. For the thoracic cage, we have the body of the sternum, which is right here. The manubrium of the sternum, which is right above the body of the sternum, which is this area here. The true ribs, which are ribs 1 through 7, right in here. False ribs are 8 through 12. And then floating ribs are 11 and 12, which don't connect to the sternum at all. These down here. Next, I'll be showing you the pectoral girdle and upper limbs and the hands and wrists. The clavicle is the top of the shoulder here. The scapula is the shoulder blade back here. The humerus is this right here. The ulna is the inner bone here. Inner bone. And the radius is the outer bone here. The hands and wrists are going to be a little bit difficult to make out, but I'll be using an anterior view of the hand to do this. So the first one is the capitate, which is the middle of the hand here. The hamate, which is the, if you move over towards the pinky, it'll be right over here. The lunate is below the capitate. The scaphoid is the thumb area, and it's right on this side. And then we have the sesamoid. Those bones are hard to see, but it's located like right on the finger joints here. It'd be like right in this joint, right in here. And then we have the trapezium, which would be about the upper thumb area, which would be right in here. I'm going ahead and finish up with the hand. The next one is the metacarpals, which are the knuckle areas to about this area here. The phalange is the upper finger areas right up here. The pisiform is located right inside this area here on the pinky side. The trapezoid is right inside the trapezium, so right in this area. And the triquetrum is right inside the pisiform, which is right in this area over here. Next I'll be going over the pelvic girdle and the lower limbs. The first one is ilium, which is this area here. The ischium, which is this area here. The pubic bone, right in here. The femur, patella, which is the knee. The tibia, which is the inner, and fibula bone, which is the outer. Last, I will be going over the ankle and the foot. I'm going to try my best. It's hard to see. The first thing is the calcaneus, which is the heel. The cuboid, which is located on the inner area here. The intermediate cuneiform, which would be this one here on the inside. And then we have the lateral cuneiform, which is right inside the intermediate, so a little bit more in. And then we have the medial cuneiform, which is located actually like up above the intermediate and to the left. And then we have the metatarsal, which is this area of the toes here, of the foot here. And then the navicular, which is located behind the intermediate cuneiform, which would be right in this area. The phalange, which is the toes. And then last is the talus, which is located behind even further of the intermediate cuneiform, so it would be intermediate cuneiform, navicular, and then the last would be the talus, which is up here. Thank you. That is the axial and appendicular skeleton.